I'd like to call the Planning Commission meeting to order, and we'll begin with roll call. If you please state your name, commissioners. We'll start on my right.
Rachel Weaver,
Cindy Greengold.
Kathleen Baralt,
Mary Sue Reisman.
Larry Brown.
thank you. We show that Commissioner Kelly Hahn and Commissioner Jan Rutke are not in attendance. All right, if you please stand, and we have the honor to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. And before we go to the approval of the Planning Commission agenda, I just want to say, in the words of U.S. District Judge John Holcomb, you have to become involved to make an impact. No one is impressed with the win-loss record of the referee. So I just want you to bear that in mind. And I just want to say thank you once again for your dedicated service every month as planning and zoning commissioners, as well as for the town planner and our commission clerk. Now, with that, we'll move to item number 3, approval of the July 24th, 2024 Planning Commission agenda. Do I have a motion to approve?
Motion to approve.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Thank you. We'll move to item number 4, approval of the minutes of the June 26, 2024 Planning Commission meeting. Do I have a motion to approve? Thank you. Thank you. All in favor? Any discussion? I'm sorry. Any discussion? No discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. They are now approved. And item number 5, public hearing on the draft critical area overlay regulations. There's obviously nobody in the gallery who's going to offer public comment. We have, Commission Clerk, we have received one comment.
Yes.
I'm going to read that into the record. It is from Sue Webster-Page. It was received on July 19th, Friday at 7:34 p.m. The subject is public comment on the critical area definitions. It says, hello, Sharon. On the definition, could they please clarify the term quote unquote unit for the purposes of the critical area regs? Could a unit be one building such as what is known by developers as quote unquote towns that look like a single family townhouse, but are actually a quadruplex condominium? A quadruplex condominiums, question mark. A quadruplex condominiums. Thank you. Thanks, Sue Webster-Page, 3907 27th Street. So let that show that that comment is in the record. Mhm. Good evening. Go ahead. Do you have, we are just about to, right now, we are going through any public comments on the draft of the critical area overlays. Would either of you, do you have public comments to offer? Okay, all right, thank you. Then, receiving no further public comment, I am now going to close this portion of our meeting of the forum for public comment. So do I have a second? Does that require a motion or can I just close it?
No, it doesn't hurt to have a motion.
Okay. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing aspect of the meeting on the critical area overlay regulations? Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. We have now closed the public comments received. And now, does any of the commissioners, there was one comment received that I read into the record. Does anyone, any of the commissioners have a comment on the public comment, the email received?
think
I
she's
have
first.
a question.
Commissioner Larson Weaver?
We do define unit earlier in the zoning ordinance, correct, Sarah?
So the dwelling unit is defined in the critical area ordinance, and it is the only way units are referenced in the critical area ordinance. So I would say it's also defined in the zoning ordinance, but it's defined in the definitions you're adopting. Just that the word dwelling is in front of it.
And can you remind me, because I don't have the whole thing, what is it defined as?
So a dwelling unit means a single unit providing complete independent living facilities for at least one person, including permanent provisions for sanitation, cooking, eating, sleeping, and other activities routinely associated with daily life. Dwelling unit includes a living quarter for a domestic or other employee or tenant, an in-law or accessory apartment, a guest house, or a caretaker residence.
So I just want to be clear, then it feels like the comment might not have understood that we are defining unit in the way that they are asking it to, well,
Dwelling, yes, a dwelling unit is not a quadruplex. There's
Yeah,
4
that would be
dwelling
4
units in a
quadruplex.
quadruplex.
Okay.
Per this definition
Yeah.
of dwelling unit. But it is confusing when you're reading it, if you're not.
if you're
realizing-
reading it out of
Right, if you're
context
reading
of
part
the,
of it.
that's what I thought. I just wanted to confirm.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, because I don't know. So then does she get some sort of response back or at work? I'm just, because I'm new here.
Yes.
She normally listens to the recordings.
Oh,
She
okay.
doesn't attend the meetings, but she normally does, but I'll
Okay. I was just
reach out
curious.
to her tomorrow.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Right. Commissioner Clerk, if you reach out to her, you can always provide the town planner's definition and refer her that it is, the dwelling unit is defined in the definitions. So just for clarification purposes for me, in the definitions, it's referred to as a dwelling unit, not a unit.
And which is probably why she couldn't find it when she went looking for it.
Sure.
Yes.
That makes sense.
It makes complete sense. Yes.
And I was going to say, I was wondering where I looked under you. I didn't see it. So
So you have to look under D,
apparently.
it seems. Okay. Learn something new every
knew?
day. Okay, so yes, Commission Clerk, if you would provide the definition by the town planner in your response to her.
I will.
Anyone else have a comment regarding Ms. Webster Page's email? Okay. Okay. Well, at this point, that's all the public comments received. Do any of the commissioners have further comments to offer in regards to the critical area regulations? If I understand correctly, if there's nothing further, then we can forward them for approval to the town council. Is that correct?
If I may,
You
Commissioner.
may.
Thank you. I don't want to recreate the wheel, but I did read through all this.
Please
because
don't. I don't want you to recreate the wheel as
No,
well.
no, but I do think there's a few places where words are missing. And I don't, I mean, I think it's important since it's such an important document to the town. But I, again, don't want to create the wheel.
Well,
This is an ordinance, a code, we have to have it correct,
I,
have it accurate. So
I just want to say,
Well, it's not that many this time. See, it's not as many as last time.
I absolutely do not want to recreate, as I stated in the last meeting, we've been through this, I think, ad infinitum. So if there's a grammatical or an omission that a word's been left out, then please, let's share them,
Okay.
but,
That's all
I'm
it
ready
basically
to
is.
open any of these items up for
No,
rediscussion.
It's that I read through it and it seemed like a word was missing sometimes, which can happen when you've got dense verbiage. So in the overlay regulations, the final draft on page 11, number 4, on the third line, it says to family members, provided that no such conveyance and will result in a. It seems to me there's a missing word there.
Impressed with such an easement to family members, provided that no such conveyance and will result in a greater density than one.
Or it could be
I think
me.
and just needs
Well,
to
I
go.
don't know, but it just struck
Such
me as an issue.
conveyance. Yes, it looks like the omission of the word "and" should take place. 'Cause it's, without "and," it reads that no such conveyance will result in a density greater than 1. But with the "and," it does. Okay, so we're going to delete the word "and."
See, and then,
Is that,
does that still make sense to you?
It did, I just wanted to read it out because sometimes the word doesn't feel like it belongs and it does.
Okay.
Yes, that does not belong.
Okay. And I think I just had one more. No, I think that the other one was just a question that I had, but it's not a, that's really all that I've got on that.
okay? Is that, that's it?
Oh, I have something on proposed amendments. I mean, do you want to?
Keep going, yeah.
Well, I only have, it's only 2 more little pink things.
Okay, let's address those 2 little pink things.
Okay, so this is the proposed amendments to Article 8. And it's on page 2.
Proposed amendments, let us catch up to article, okay, for page
So,
2.
number 4, and again, it just didn't make
Two.
sense to me. Testimony offered by non-applicants. Testimony provided by any person who is not an applicant, expert offered by the applicant. I feel that doesn't make sense.
Could it be or?
And/or, I don't know, but it seems to me it's missing something.
Testimony provided by any person who is not an applicant or expert offered by the applicant as part of the applicant's presentation or agent of the applicant shall be provided in accordance with this subsection. I think the "or" is missing.
So I think it's saying an expert who is offered by the applicant. Like it's one thing. So if you're not the applicant or an expert that the applicant is bringing and offering.
You just said the word "or" though.
Yeah,
So, who is, but, so there's more. So there's 3 things. Testimony provided by a person who's not an applicant, who's not an expert that's offered by the applicant, or an agent of the applicant provided in accordance with the subsection. There's 3 things. You can say "or" more than once if you want to.
Testimony provided by a person not an
I think it needs the "or"
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah,
after applicant.
it just seems like it was,
It's just a list of 3 things.
Yes,
Yes. Okay.
right.
I want to make sure.
So
we're-
if it's not the applicant and not the expert
Expert.
offered by the applicant,
then it's going to be an agent of the applicant. Right. Right.
I won't get into the difference between an agent and the expert, but
I could.
so we're going to add "or" in front of the word expert. Okay,
That's all that I have.
I thought there were 2 pink things.
Oh, wait a minute.
there was another.
There is another pink thing. Well, no, Oh, no, that was with something else, I think. Nope, I'm good.
That's you're testing my memory here.
Yeah.
Well, maybe testing my own. Oh, here it is. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, yes, thank you, page 10.
In the same document?
Yes, my apologies, yes. Number 2. And it could be the sentence structure, but interpretation appeals. Appeals concerning the interpretation of any provisions of this chapter shall exactly set forth the interpretation that is claimed. That is claimed to be incorrect? Is that what it's assuming?
Commissioner Greisman,
Yes.
Greisman, where are you?
I'm sorry, page 10, number 2.
Okay,
It just it just hit me. I mean, I think I now know what they're saying. It's okay. I mean, it's okay. It's a little unwieldy to me, but it's now that I read it out loud. So,
do we
Thank you.
need to add the word be?
No, I
Appeals
think it's
concerning the
actually fine.
interpretation. I think it should have be, but.
maybe it should be desired, but I understand what it's
Will be
saying.
exactly set forth. Town planner?
So if the person is appealing an interpretation, they have to say what they think the interpretation should be. That's
Mm-hmm.
what that's saying.
So you don't think it needs a qualifier in front of exactly?
Well,
Well, if you
Does
say,
that change
like
the intent?
they need to very clearly and exactly say what they think the interpretation should be.
well, could it not be they set forth their basis for? It just was weird to me the way that it sort of cliff hung the end of that statement.
I think to me, it reads better with the word be, but if you
At the
think
end.
it changes the intent, I will
Provisions of this chapter shall
stand down.
put claimed at the end, put claimed to be.
No,
Oh, no.
where this chapter shall be exactly set forth the interpretation that is claimed. Shall be exactly set forth, because that, to my mind, that says, that means you will very specifically say what you would like, what you're claiming
I
to
think-
interpret. But
Yeah, I think you would say to be at the end instead of be in the middle because
so
appeal,
exactly set forth the interpretation that is claimed to be.
I had put claim to be incorrect, so I kind of,
it feels wrong. We're ending. Yeah, that's why.
I think to be, but
Yeah.
it's a tough statement.
It
But
feels
I
wrong
understand.
grammatically, but that's okay because sometimes it does.
Say again?
It just feels wrong grammatically, but sometimes it is. So that's okay.
Yeah.
If you
I
wanna put it
understand
at-
you want the basis. They have to state their contentions as to why
Right.
they're right and the town is wrong.
Yes, they do.
So I guess now that I've wasted part of the wheel.
It's just if we put it before, so appeals concerning the interpretation of any provisions of this chapter shall be exactly set forth the interpretation that is claimed. There's something that goes wrong.
Yeah,
if we
I
put
agree
it
with
in
that.
The word
front of
exactly
too.
doesn't make, this word exactly is my problem. Shall precisely set forth the interpretation.
Should it
that
be
is-
Yeah, precisely is
precisely?
much better.
Because
Specifically,
exactly is just the wrong, I think.
precisely, specifically.
Set forth. Or shall set forth the interpretation as claimed.
Mm-mm.
I think precisely set forth.
Yes, I agree.
think Your point is you want to make sure that it's the correct and precise interpretation that, yeah, I think you want to go precisely, don't you?
Yes, precisely for the interpretation.
I don't know.
But
That,
Potato,
the
potato.
interpretation that is claimed or offered.
or
what-
desired.
Is this in regards to the presentation of the interpretation?
So if someone wants to appeal the decision, right? And they're saying you interpreted this wrong, they're going to have to explain how it should have been interpreted. And they're going to have to be precise about that because They're arguing that
Mhm.
interpretation.
How about the interpretation that they claim instead of is claimed?
Or take out that is.
Technically, once you get into a they, then you're in a plural pronoun unless we're just being.
So precisely set forth the interpretation that is claimed.
Okay, I think precisely does it, and I think that's, yeah, because exactly is a
Exactly. is a little
scary.
odd. It's a little odd in that situation, actually.
Will that work for you?
Exactly.
I already made the change.
Okay, me and myself and my pink slips, we're done.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Are there any further comments in regards to this document by the commissioners?
I just
Vice Chair?
Yes, Madam Chair. I just want to comment, again, I've already said this one time, but you were not here. But I just want to congratulate everybody on a lot of hard work because not every town takes the model and actually runs with it and makes modifications according to the town that we're in, you know. This is really specific to our town. I'm very proud that it's not perfect. Commissioner Brown and I know that it's not perfect for sure, but it's, you know,
Precise?
it's precise and it's exact. And I think it's really a good effort on all of our parts. And I'm really grateful that we took the time to do it. And it's half of our town is critical area. So if we can't provide for that critical area and all of the needs that we have in that area, we're done for. So thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And that's all. Thank you also for all you. I know Chris also did a lot of work. Mr. Jakubiak did a lot of work on this ahead of time, so. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for your diligence on this document. Certainly reviewed it, so.
That's good.
So at this juncture, our next step is a motion to present it to the town council.
And start that critical area process as well. Because they have several steps, the official steps, but both of them together.
So simultaneously, this is going to the state as well as we're going to make a motion to send it to the town council as well as on to the state critical area commission.
I think the town council will want their comments, their
So
official comments.
they're not going simultaneously is what you're saying.
Well, you're just sending them both. It's just
Okay.
that town council may wait for the comments before they
I see.
review it.
All right, well, if we have a motion to send the critical area draft, the overlay regulations forward,
I'll make the motion. Okay. I make a motion that we send over the final draft dated 7/3/2024 of the critical area overlay regulations to the town council as well as to the critical area commission of the state of Maryland.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Duly noted. Yes.
Opposed.
All right, if there's no further agenda items, do I have a motion? Do you wish to speak or is there another matter you wish to speak on, or you just wanted to watch the planning commission process? Okay. You please come to the podium and state your name, write your name, state it as well as give your address.
My name is Joseph Baptiste, and I live at 8225 C Street, Chesapeake Beach.
Okay.
Basically across the street, yeah.
Okay,
And there's a few things that I want to share with you guys and get some feedback from you guys. The Veteran Park, it's a very high traffic area. And about a year ago, I spoke to a gentleman about something that I think the town should do. And after speaking about what it is, then he mentioned, oh, I'm a member of the board. And I think it's a good idea. The idea is that there's a lot of traffic on that part of the Chesapeake Bay where the Veteran Park is. And there's a lot of kids come to see the water. And what happens? They tiptoe over the rocks back and forth. That is a very dangerous thing for kids. So I thought about why don't we put a deck on that part of the water so that a person could come and have the vision of the bay, be comfortable sitting, and not have to be risking their back and forth. And the member of the board, I can't remember his name, but he did say you need to take that to when they have a planning meeting and mention it. That was a year ago. About a month ago, my wife mentioned it to me, which is my wife here. She said, well, you remember the idea that you came up with for the deck on the back of he said, well, the restaurant on C Street did exactly what you were talking about. They put a deck on their property for their customers. Why we don't have one for the public? And I think that will minimize any accident, but give the traffic people something to sit down and look at the bay.
Okay. You said you had additional?
Yes, I'm not sure. I have no update on when the ferry in Chesapeake Beach gonna come to light. I'm not sure, but there's rumors about it. And there's one thing that I think about what I could contribute to the town. And it's something that I think I would like to be the first to do it. But it's what they call when it's a tow shuttle. In other words, a vehicle will take people from one point to the next. We have 7.5 miles of road from Rodden Reel to Harrington South. We should have a vehicle taking people from the hotel anywhere they want to go on that path and giving them a history of Chesapeake Beach. Because we already having traffic entering Chesapeake Beach. The people who may be coming, people who don't have a clue where this place is. I have friends that when I mention Chesapeake Beach, you say, where that is. Some people doesn't even know this place exists.
That's good. We like that. Don't come here. That's our unofficial town motto.
Okay, now go away.
But again, for the few that come this way, we should be able to share our history with those people.
Many people confuse Chesapeake Beach, Maryland with Chesapeake Beach, Virginia. And
Yes,
right.
yeah, because even a lot of them, when they ask me, where you live? Oh, you take the Bay Bridge? I say, no. Say, we on Maryland side. So if you've been to Annapolis, you just take 30 minutes south and you will be crossing Chesapeake Beach, North Beach. So that is what I think I would like to be the first to do that shuttle.
So the shuttle would go from, you
Rodden
said,
Reel.
Rodden Reel to
Harrington South.
Harrington South
And
via the water.
yes, so basically my passengers,
Are you a boat captain?
I'm a boater, but I'm not a captain.
I'm sorry?
I do have a boat, but I don't have a captain's license. But I'm talking about the shuttle is not on water, on land.
Like a little trolley shuttle.
I see.
Yeah, because you know, I have few names that are already in my head of what the vehicle will call, but one of it at the back of the vehicle it should said fun bus.
Never gets fun. Just kidding.
Because
That would involve alcohol.
Do you have an alcohol license?
it could be changed, but the whole idea is that you're taking the person who visiting us and giving them an idea, well, you're here and we want you to enjoy the time you're here. And then, well, you spread, maybe you said you don't want the news to spread, but at some point in time, at some point in time, we have to open the doors to a little more than what we yeah.
Question though, about that, would this be a privately owned? So, okay, so like we can all be like, that's a cool idea, but that's not necessarily, we couldn't,
You can put that up with the rod
Yeah.
and reel and do
Yeah.
your own private thing and get your insurance.
you don't need
a
town
little bit.
approval
There
for that.
was a trolley previously. I
Yeah.
There
thought.
was a town trolley.
Right.
Yes.
It seems like it'd be a good idea if people are, let's say, going to a wedding at Harrington Harbor and people are staying here. It'd be great if people didn't have to drive drunk back from the
Yeah.
wedding.
I'm all for that, people not driving drunk.
Just think it would save the roads. It wouldn't be as congested.
The vehicle would be a vehicle with 15 passengers on board, but it will be at least you will have signs posting this is a non-alcoholic.
Oh.
What fun?
Do you already have the vehicle?
No.
It sounds like you're eyeing one.
I do believe,
Because I'm trying to connect all my dots first before I go deep into it. So
have you spoken, usually, the planning and zoning doesn't, give public comment like you're suggesting. Have you been, but I do believe the vice chair's idea to speak to the rod and reel, they might be very interested in this because there was a shuttle previously that took people around, and it would also be an opportunity, as you spoke of, to share the history of the two towns, and that's the whole pull. The idea that Chesapeake Beach, you can go to the beach without actually crossing over the Bay Bridge was the lure to come
Right.
to Chesapeake Beach. But I definitely think that perhaps you should speak to someone at the Rod and the Reel, and they might be very interested. And my other thought is, have you come to the town council meeting and spoke about your idea? They also have an opportunity for you as a citizen to talk about any item that you would like to in there when
No.
they meet.
this basically, you guys are the first group that is hearing
With a
this.
bite at the apple. I was thinking most attractive. But I would recommend that, that you go to the town council. It's third Thursday?
Yes.
The third Thursday of the month. Yeah, and then there's an opportunity where the council, the mayor opens up the meeting for any public comment on any item. And, whether there's the safety issue that you talked about at Veterans Park, as well as the shuttle. We certainly can forward the meeting is recorded and we could pass it along, but I think that would be a good place for you, as well as to speak to the Rod and Reel, because they might be very interested. I don't know if their concerts are continuing now in
Yes,
the, but that would also be another tie-in for the
for the
concerts.
traffic that goes in here. So,
The other thought, going to the Bayside History Museum too, especially if it was more along the lines of like a history tour, that people that are coming, they might have a sense of if people would be interested in that and the viability of it. And they just know a lot of the history.
yeah, well, because I already predict that whatever I'm doing, Rod and Reel is going to be part of it.
Yeah.
And being part of Rod and Reel is like, I foresee that the people that visiting us will have an opportunity to know the history of Rod and Reel. I will have to learn the history majority of it, but in other words, to pass it on to someone else. But it will give, I would say, a rich
Mm-hmm.
thing for somebody to come to Chesapeake Beach and this small town, giving them something to live with that they could share with someone else. And I think about maybe just like how we have it in DC, where you have tour buses. My one mightn't be that big, but it could still do the same
Yeah.
method. May have a young person in the back of it, sharing the history and what's coming up and what we're gonna see further down the road. So I have a lot
Sounds like
of, I have a lot of
tour.
ideas here.
Yeah.
But everything is here. Oh, sorry, not here.
Yeah.
Everything is in the head, and it's. I think it'll be a good thing.
It's a good idea.
So
Well, thank you. Do you have another idea, or were those, I'm not being facetious, I just, were those the two ideas that you wanted to present tonight, or are there more?
I think that's two of the most important part. The deck is definitely, we need somebody to go there and look at it, and go to the restaurant and look at what they did. For
Now,
the-
what restaurant? To the Bi-Coastal, the Pocket Park that they just built there?
Yeah,
Yeah, Bi-Coastal.
yeah, bio. Yeah, they
We-
built. They put up a massive deck on the water edge, and I said, "Whoa!" I said, "That was my idea a year ago. Now I'm seeing it somewhere else."
Yeah.
And I
Well,
said,
there's two pocket parks. So the one is at Bi-Coastal, and now the other one is up on B Street, which is also, then people walking on the boardwalk can go to the pocket park and they can look out at the water, and there's a telescope.
"This one is just by the restaurant."
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Really and truly, yeah. And when you think about 4th of July weekend,
Mhm.
that place it's crazy. When I say crazy, with people, and as a homeowner living right there, I'm seeing the opportunity and I said, with this deck, even the last 4th of July that gone there, I said, man, it would have been perfect if we had a deck there, because people sitting on the rocks,
Mhm.
and that is dangerous. And we have the water, the vision, we have the place, but we don't have that deck to give the public somewhere to sit and enjoy that view. So,
Okay. In the interim, you can think of what the fun outfit would be as the driver of the shuttle that you can say,
Are you going to apply for that job?
no, I'm not fun enough, but yeah, you can't have white hair and be fun. It's an oxymoron.
the fun bus is just something that when you get on board, it's not gonna be a boring ride from point A to B. We're gonna have fun.
Yeah, I just want to say that
Fun
when,
is not- I may using the wrong words. just
No.
because-
I think, well, in Asheville, North Carolina, they have a school bus that has been renovated, and it takes you around the town, and they give you a tour of the town. And while they're giving you the tour, the person who's giving you the tour is dressed up like a nun. And which immediately sets the tone for fun, because you don't think, oh, a nun is fun, but it's a great tour of the city, and it's, I think the costume is would make it more
I have
an adventure.
I will be to listen to my voice. I'm Caribbean accent,
I love it.
and Caribbean is colors.
Caribbean is what?
Colors.
Oh, colors. Uh-huh.
And when you go to the Caribbean, everything is colors. I foresee that vehicle, even the shirt I'm wearing, represent a Caribbean feel. So I'm trying to bring a Caribbean feel on Chesapeake Beach and the water on the backdrop.
Are we going to get a banana boat that goes up and down?
And you don't want to serve pina coladas on this thing, really?
Vibe right now with those drums.
Steel
Drums.
drums?
We have to have a band.
There's opportunities to.
Now we're interested.
navigate. It's, I'm just happy to let you guys know what's in here. I'm hoping that you guys will help me get to the other level.
I absolutely think, I'm sorry, tell me your last name again.
Baptiste, like Baptiste.
Baptiste as in
yeah,
John.
Yeah, John.
Yes.
Baptiste.
Yes. Well, Mr. Baptiste, I truly think you should come before the town council, because, that's one of the endeavors in Chesapeake Beach. People, when they come here, work in, not competition, but in North Beach, there seems to be more restaurants. You can walk on the boardwalk. They have the farmer's market. So I think, I know in Chesapeake Beach, we've been looking at, we're going to have kayaks now, and we're going to have, paddle boats. And then there's been discussion about having people can rent bikes. So I think when people come here, it's important that they have something to do. Otherwise,
They wouldn't come
know,
back.
right.
Yeah, they would
And
share
they'll
with
be
friends.
bored. And especially if they have children,
Yeah.
parents want something, and right now with the current status of the water park, that's not up. It's a challenge. So I think that's, I thank you for your idea.
I just want to say one thing. So that's not, as much as we're interested, that this is not part of what we do, even though we hope you get it done.
Right. We're more on the zoning but
Oh, okay.
I'm so happy to hear it.
But yeah, I mean, so that's why I think thank you for coming here, but I think the better place to present your ideas would be the town council. And you can always email, you can always write a letter to the mayor, but and also in speaking to
Rod and Reel.
Mr. Donovan at the Rod and Reel. But I definitely, Mr. Baptiste, I should put it on your calendar, come before the town council. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
What your outfit might be on the fun bus, and what you were thinking. Do you have any ideas, or it's all Mr. Baptiste? Okay. Well, thank you. Well, unless there's no further, I thought we spoke about that.
That was the comment.
Okay.
I don't care.
Do you have do any of the commissioners have a comment to make?
The only comment I have is that, as we all know, that there's the town council is having an election in November, of course. And now's the time to run, if anybody is thinking of running, because it looks like we are only have
Mr. Baptiste.
Mr. Baptiste, you can run for the town council. We only have one returning, at this time, one returning council member.
What?
Only
No,
one-
I think that, well,
Well, we don't know yet. One returning, Charlie Fink is the only one returning that we know of right now.
so of the 7, there
Of
is,
everybody.
2 of the members are running for mayor. Greg Morris and Valerie Bodine. I think the town, the vice president, Mr. Jaworski, I think is not running, as well as Peggy is not running. So yes, right now it looks currently only Charlie Fink will be running
Has anybody announced their,
candidacy.
you have
I
announced? Okay.
I have announced my candidacy for town council, not mayor.
Yeah.
Are there
Or
other
I
people-
could be a driver
I
for
knew
the
it. I knew that
fund.
was coming.
Couple others, I think they haven't really actually announced yet that they're running.
Right, you have till, I
You'll
think,
think it's
September
September.
7th?
Yeah.
Is
So-
that, I'm sorry? September 10th to announce your candidacy either for the town council or for the position of mayor. So, yes, and that information is on the website. There's going to be a forum, I believe, September 17th for the mayor candidates as well as the town council candidates. So be advised. And that's being held at,
I don't know.
has that been announced where? I know the forum date has been selected, but I
Yeah,
don't,
I don't know unless it's going to be the community center.
yeah, I think that's where it was last time, but yes, so FYI. Yeah, I think it's unprecedented that the town council would,
People, enough spots. People get.
so, I mean,
Enough people to fill it, I know.
food for thought, it might be a situation like this in the future, maybe consideration of staggering the elections so that we don't have a case where there's one incumbent and then it's almost like we're clearing the whole deck. So new blood. So
Never heard of such a thing.
anyway. So, yes, there will,
Next meeting is dark. I mean, we have no meeting in August.
correct, we will
So we
meet.
won't meet again until after the forum. So this is it until September, the end of September.
Our next meeting will be on September, we're the 4th? The 4th Wednesday of the month, September 25th?
I don't have a calendar in front of me.
I do. The 4th Wednesday of the month would be September 25th. So that's the next time we will meet. Yes, so.
We're going to put, by any chance, signage back on the agenda.
I didn't know how we got so lucky to not have it there tonight.
If you, that's another thing, if you have items for the agenda for, we'll bring back signage that we haven't been able to address. The town planner, that reminds me, do we have in our next, are there other issues and that we need to address that have gotten sidetracked?
It's possible that zoning text amendment will come back, but I do have a list of all the other issues y'all want to talk about. So maybe in September, you can start off with work plan discussion and also bring back anything you were already working on.
I think fences you had on there as well.
So I can pull it up if you want.
Yes. So, signage, and then what did you say, work plan?
So it's a whole, I kind of just made a list of all the things you all talked about that you wanted to do. So my
Sure, unless it's 50 items.
no, it's not.
Okay.
So there's the critical area resiliency overlay that we talked about, site plan review process. Oh, we did that already. A joint session with the Coastal Resiliency Steering Commission. I don't know if that's still. Coastal Resiliency Plan has to go to like kind of the next level.
Which
Um,
one?
The Coastal Resiliency Plan, because it needs to get to like an implementation level. And we kind of talked about tying that in with critical area and fees in lieu and getting a more robust program there to achieve the goals that you want of a more resilient and like higher planting levels and stormwater management levels in the critical area. I guess, so that's like 3 bullets that really ties into 1 bullet of trying to tackle that overlay. Signage, design standards. Did you want to, I don't know if you guys wanted to review the ones you have.
That would have been along with signage, I think.
Okay. Educational outreach from the Planning Commission to residents, commercial property zoning, APFO traffic design. That's just what these are the notes I took while you guys were
What's the
talking.
last one you just read?
It's commercial property zoning, adequate public facilities ordinance, traffic design. Does anyone remember? I don't remember the basis for that, but I just wrote what y'all said. We can.
Well,
Can I add
yes,
something to the list for the future that is very niche potentially?
that is what?
Niche.
Wow.
Sure.
Changing a potential ordinance for backyard chickens in town. No, but I want them. I'm afraid I'd get in trouble. We're not allowed to have them.
Isn't that a county? Or is that
No,
just-
we
is
have
that
it,
an
our,
ordinance?
yeah,
Is it
our
not an
ordinance is
ordinance?
specific.
Yeah.
Is it part of the zoning ordinance? Wouldn't it be animals?
It's mentioned in zoning ordinance that you're not allowed to have animals within.
Right now, you
town
can
limits
just do.
unless you have at
dams.
least 5 acres, which I think, but I don't even know if anybody has 5 acres.
3. Is it 3 or 5? 5? 5 acres? That was 3. Okay.
Anyhow, it's not an urgent thing because I wouldn't get them till the spring anyway, but I wouldn't mind it getting discussed.
Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun.
Now that Frank isn't my neighbor. Maybe get
Okay, well, I didn't see that one coming.
It's niche.
Thank you for redefining for me what niche meant, because chicken, okay. So thank you. And in the meantime, as we won't be meeting in August, if you have items, commissioners, that you want put on the agenda for September, please submit them to me. And also, I hope everybody enjoys the month off in August. Hopefully, we won't have triple-digit weather, and it will be a nice end of summer. And yeah, happy Labor Day. So, anybody have anything else? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We are adjourned. Thank you, Mr. Betts. Ollie, like a cable car.
Oh, my